Good morning, everybody. Today we are going to start with Unit 2 of Microeconomics, and Unit 2, children, is called as Consumers, Equilibrium and Demand. For your purpose of understanding, although this unit carries 13 marks, but I shall be dividing this unit into two or three parts so that your understanding of every concept becomes simpler and easier. Your chapter or the unit is consumers equilibrium and demand, but we will first do consumers equilibrium and then we will do demand. The total weightage of the entire unit is 13 marks. Since I am dividing this unit into two parts, the concept of consumers equilibrium is for 6 marks and the concept of demand will be for 7 marks. So we shall be starting off with the first part of this unit, that is consumers equilibrium. This is chapter 2, consumers equilibrium. Let us now understand what does consumers equilibrium mean. The meaning of consumers equilibrium is basically explained with the help of two concepts. First one is cardinal utility approach. The second one is ordinal utility approach. This part of the chapter will have a weightage of 6 marks. Normally, you may get one question on one of the two, and normally there can be a question of 4 marks, 1 mark, and there may be 2 1 markers and 1 4 marker. Of course, more stress is given on cardinal approach as compared to cardinal utility approach. So you can expect one question of theory which asks you to explain what is consumers equilibrium, and then you may be given short questions of 2 marks or 4 marks or even 2 and 3 marks and 1 marker depending upon the set that you get. And the total weightage for the entire chapter of this portion is 6 marks. Hence, we now begin with the theory of consumers equilibrium. Children, these are figures of all consumers. Consumers is a person who is demanding different types of goods and services at a point of time. We are having the concept of both goods and services. Let us try and understand how a consumer demands goods and how he tries to maximize his satisfaction. This concept of satisfaction of consumer is called as consumers equilibrium. Equilibrium is defined as a state of rest where two opposite forces are equal to each other. It is a single point where both the factors included in the study balance each other. We are only concentrating on the consumer, that is the demand part of the consumer. So equilibrium is defined as a state of rest, that means where the consumer is satisfied with consuming certain units of a product, and these will depend upon, for the sake of simplicity, we are just taking only one product. It is and he will purchase those many units of that product which will give him maximum satisfaction. And this brings us to the concept of consumers equilibrium, and this is defined as where satisfaction derived by the consumer from the consumption of the commodity matches with the money spent by him as he is a rational person. Who is a rational person, children? A rational person is a person who is aware of using his resources in the best manner so that he is not only able to get the maximum quantity of the product but is also able to achieve maximum satisfaction. So each consumer tries to be rational, tries to be intelligent, such that he is able to buy those many number of units of a commodity which give him maximum satisfaction. This chapter will talk about the concept of consumer's equilibrium, and it will stress upon how a consumer acts and uses his resources. Resources here is money. He will try to match the money that he is spending on different units of a particular product so that he is able to satisfy his maximum wants. Let us now first understand the meaning of a consumer. Who is a consumer? A consumer is a person who buys goods and services for the satisfaction of wants. His objective is to get maximum satisfaction with limited expenditure. There is nobody so far who has unlimited resources. We go by this presumption that every consumer has limited resources, but unfortunately his wants are unlimited, and with the limited resources that he has, he would try to spend his limited resources in order to satisfy his maximum wants. This picture shows that a person may demand different types of goods at the same point of time. At a consumer may want to buy a purse, a consumer may want to buy shoes, a consumer may like to go for a purchase of a car, or he may plan to go out for some kind of an outing or a holiday. A consumer may like to buy a bicycle, a consumer may like to go for movies or sightseeing. So at any point of time, a consumer may have unlimited demands, but the resources, that is the money that he has at his disposal, is always limited, and that money can be used by him to purchase those resources, that those items that he wishes to buy, but he cannot buy all the items with that money that he has in his pocket or with him. He will have to decide which item, which product, which commodity he wishes to purchase first and which he wishes to purchase later. And for that, he has to behave as a rational person. Depending upon his requirements, depending upon his wants, he will decide whether he would like to purchase something to eat, or whether he needs to purchase a book, or whether he needs to go for an outing. So depending upon the resources available with him, he has to make a choice between the different demands that he has in his mind. And to explain it further, we have the concept of utility. What is utility? Want satisfying power of a commodity is called utility. For example, a person wants to go to Chennai. He boards a train and reaches his destination. So the train services has usefulness for this person, since he is able to use the services of a train in order to reach his destination that he has planned, that is Chennai. A person wants to save money. A person accepts his deposits. So banking services have utility for the person. Every person has large number of wants, but he cannot satisfy all his wants in one go. He has to decide how to use his limited resources in order to satisfy his maximum wants. For example, in this picture, the person is saying that I am hungry. I want food. This apple can satisfy my want. So the apple has the power to satisfy a want. The apple has usefulness, and in economics the term usefulness is defined as utility. The Apple has utility for this person and he can satisfy his hunger by consuming the apple. The concept of utility is further classified into two parts. One is called total utility, the other is called marginal utility. So there are two parts of utility or usefulness. Let us first understand the meaning of total utility. Total utility is the sum total of utility derived by consuming all the units of the commodity. So the consumer is, for example, consuming apples. When he is consuming the first apple, he gets 14 utils. Utils, children, is an imaginary concept in order to explain the concept of utility or satisfaction derived from a particular product by a person, and it varies from person to person, but for the sake of uniformity the concept of utility has been given. First apple consumed by the person gives him 14 utils. Second apple gives him 10 utils. Third apple gives him 5 utils. Fourth apple gives him 1 util, such that when you sum it up, the person on consuming 4 apples gets 30 utils. The formula for calculating total utility, children, is marginal utility of all the units of the product consumed by him. Every successive apple will be used by the term marginal utility. So when he is consuming the first apple, then we will say that marginal utility of the first apple. The first apple becomes marginal. When he consumes the second apple becomes marginal. Marginal utility of the second apple. When the third apple is consumed, then the third one becomes marginal. And the first and the second apples will become pre-marginal. So total utility is the calculation or the addition made of every successive apple or unit of the commodity consumed by the consumer. And the formula for this total utility is given as TU. TU stands for total utility is equal to sigma MU, total of marginal utility. Then we come to the concept of marginal utility. Marginal utility is the addition to total utility when one more unit of a commodity is consumed. Every additional unit is marginal. So it is the addition to total utility when one more unit of a commodity is consumed. It is the utility derived from the last unit consumed. And in order to understand the concept of marginal utility better, we are taking into account this example. For example, when the first apple is consumed by the consumer, he gets a satisfaction worth 25 utils. The unit of measurement of satisfaction is utils. So the first apple consumed is giving the consumer a satisfaction of 25 utils. When the second apple is consumed, he gets a satisfaction of 20 utils. In the first case, when we were consuming the first apple is called the marginal unit. But when the second apple is consumed, then the second apple is called as the marginal unit. Marginal means additional. So when the second one is consumed, the second apple becomes the additional unit. When the third one is consumed, then the third apple is called as the marginal unit and the utility gained from the third one is 10 utils. Here we assume that he does not want to have more than 3 apples. Hence, the formula for calculating marginal utility is marginal utility is equal to total utility of n units minus total utility of n minus 1 unit. Here let us see that the total utility of n units becomes the addition of 25 plus 20 plus 10, which makes it 45. Hence here 55. So when you are taking into account the contribution made by the third unit, so you will take into account 55 minus 20, that is 25. So the formula of calculating marginal utility is total utility of n units, that is the last unit consumed, minus total utility of n minus 1 unit, that is last but 1. So total utility of n units is the total utility of the last units consumed minus total utility of last but 1 unit consumed. Or marginal utility can also be calculated by the formula change in total utility divided by change in the unit consumed. Then let us come to the next concept, that is the law of diminishing marginal utility. To be able to understand the concept of utility, we have already shown with this example that as a consumer keeps on consuming successive units of a product, the satisfaction derived by the consumer from every successive unit goes on declining. For example, in the first case, when the first apple was consumed, the utility derived by him was 25 utils. When the second apple was consumed, the utility derived goes down to 20 utils. And when the third apple is consumed, the utility derived by the consumer is 10 utils. So that is based upon this theory, we have the law of diminishing marginal utility. That means as a consumer goes on consuming more and more successive units of the same commodity, the satisfaction derived by him will keep on declining. And this concept has been given by H. Gaussian. It is also called Gaussian's first law of consumption. So this is the person who has given the concept of law of diminishing marginal utility. What does this law state? According to this law, other things remaining the same, as we consume more and more units of a commodity, the utility derived from each successive unit goes on decreasing. That means as you are consuming the first unit of any commodity, earlier we had taken the example of apples. Now in this picture we are taking the example of donuts. When the first donut is consumed, the consumer looks so happy and wants to have a second one. And the second one also gives him quite a lot of satisfaction. But after that, he says, no, I am totally full. I cannot consume more than this amount. So here, every successive unit consumed by the consumer will give him lesser and lesser satisfaction, that he arrives at a stage when he does not want to consume any units of the commodity any further. This can be explained with the help of this schedule. The schedule clearly shows the different units of apples consumed by a consumer. We have the concept of marginal utility and total utility both in this schedule. So as the consumer is consuming the first apple, the marginal utility is equal to total utility. He is consuming the first unit of the apple and he gets 10 units of satisfaction, which is also equal to 10 utils. Second apple consumed by him gives him a little lesser satisfaction, that is 8 units or 8 utils. And when we add up the 8 utils to the 10, we get the total utility as 18. The third apple gives him lesser satisfaction further, and that is 4 utils. Adding up 4 to 18, we get 22 as the figure for total utility arrived at by consuming 3 apples by the consumer. The fourth apple gives him no further satisfaction, and therefore his total utility remains at 22. That means he should not go beyond consuming 4 apples. And the fifth one, if he has it, will spoil his health, and its utility is -2, such that the total utility will fall to 20 from the figure of 22. This can be shown with the help of the diagrams also. The upper diagram gives total utility and the lower diagram gives marginal utility. We are talking about that marginal utility keeps on declining as successive units of the product are consumed by the consumer. And here we shall see, if we plot this data in the diagram, that your total utility is rising, it reaches a particular stage and then it starts falling. Marginal utility, on the other hand, is the maximum at its first point and will keep falling. Where marginal utility is 0, total utility is maximum. This point where it touches the baseline is called the point of satiety, that is maximum satisfaction. Thereafter, marginal utility is falling because the consumer, instead of getting satisfaction from the product, is getting dissatisfaction. He will fall sick after he consumes more apples. So he has to stop at this particular point, which is indicated by point B, and we have the units of the consumer, the apples consumed, and the satisfaction enjoyed by the consumer after using or after eating up different units of the apples. This law of diminishing marginal utility can therefore be explained as follows. Marginal utility curve slopes downwards. This is the diagram. The marginal utility curve, children, is sloping downwards. It reaches a point where it touches the baseline and then becomes negative. Marginal utility curve slopes downwards, indicating fall in marginal utility as consumption increases. Total utility curve rises at a diminishing rate when marginal utility is positive. Just look at the total utility curves, children. You find it is rising, it reaches the maximum level. Maximum is that point where marginal utility has already touched the baseline. So when marginal utility becomes 0, total utility is at its maximum. Thereafter, total utility will start falling and marginal utility becomes negative. So the second feature is total utility curve rises at a diminishing rate when marginal utility is positive. Third point, total utility remains constant when marginal utility is 0. Just look at the diagram. Total utility remains constant when marginal utility is 0. This is the point of where it is 0. There is no difference between the third apple and the fourth apple. The total utility is at 22 units. Then the third point of total utility, the third feature of total utility states total utility remains constant when marginal utility is 0. And the last one, total utility falls when marginal utility is negative. Just look at this diagram. The total utility is falling and marginal utility is already below the point of origin. That is, your marginal utility is negative and it is indicated by dissatisfaction, whereas your total utility after reaching its maximum point has started falling. So let us move to the next one, that is assumptions of law of diminishing marginal utility. The first assumption, each and every theory, each and every concept is based upon certain assumptions. We cannot go on taking into account all factors that are affecting a particular item simultaneously. In economics, each and every concept is based upon assumptions. So the assumptions of the law of diminishing marginal utility are as follows. The consumer is rational. He wants to get maximum satisfaction. That means the consumer is an intelligent person with the resources that he knows that he has, which are limited in nature. He would like to satisfy as many wants with that money income that he has at his disposal. So he is a rational and intelligent person. Second point, second assumption is all the units of the commodity consumed are of equal quality. Yes, this is very significant. The items that a consumer is purchasing should have the same quality level. Otherwise, he will have problems in selecting. If some unit of the commodity is better as compared to the other, he would like to go in for a better commodity. But then this law will not hold good. So the assumptions of this law is that all units are of the same quality. The third is all the units of the consumer of all the items of the commodity without are to be consumed simultaneously. That means that as you are eating the first apple, the second apple, third apple, all these apples should be had at the same point of time. You cannot have the application of this law if you have only one apple or two apples at one point of time. Otherwise, the law of diminishing marginal utility will not be applicable. So you have to continue to consume the third apple and the fourth apple to be able to experience the law of diminishing marginal utility. The next one is it is possible to measure utility in terms of numbers. So it is not necessary at all that we cannot measure utility. We have to measure utility with the help of numerical figures. Only then we will be able to understand the concept. Then we have taste and preferences of the consumers do not change. If he likes apples and he wants to purchase apples, then he is not going to replace it with oranges. He sticks to the same product and he is consuming the same product with varying units at the same point of time. Only then this law will be applicable. The commodity must be consumed in sizable quantities. So you have the same unit, where if it is an apple, it should be of the same size and the same commodity. Then only this law is applicable. Then you have the next part of this criticism of the law of diminishing marginal utility. Utility is psychological. Experience it, and it cannot be measured in terms of numbers. So we have said that satisfaction is only in your mind and you have to experience it, and for that, for the understanding, only some kind of numerical figure is given. This is the problem, that for one person the satisfaction may be, he may like to stop after consuming 7 apples, another person may like to stop after consuming 4. So here, of course, for the sake of simplicity, we are only taking one person's satisfaction at a time, and we are not comparing the satisfaction of two or more than that. So utility is a psychological experience. It cannot be measured in terms of numbers. That is why the term utils is taken to measure satisfaction. Taste and preferences of the consumer may change. At one point of time, he would like to have apples. At another point of time, he would like to have oranges. So this is a drawback that cannot be applied in this theory. The third drawback of this theory is that the quality of different units of a commodity may be different. It is not necessary that all apples that a person is consuming will necessarily be of the same weight and size. So this is another problem that normally is faced by a person. Let us now do the consumer's equilibrium. How does a person attain total satisfaction on the basis of how much he should consume? That is called as consumer's equilibrium. Equilibrium is a state of rest or position of no further change, and he will decide that he would consume only those many units of the product. A consumer is in equilibrium when he consumes that quantity which gives him maximum satisfaction. And this can be shown with the help of this beautiful diagram. The person seems to be very happy and very satisfied, and he is claiming, I am satisfied. He neither wants to increase nor decrease the consumption of apples. He is at equilibrium. Thank you. And